Good afternoon. It is 3:35 on, what is today? Wednesday. Anybody watching? How you doing? How you been? What you been up to? So, I'm gonna go off. I can feel it. So, it was an interesting weekend. It was an interesting weekend. An interesting start to the week, too, let me tell you. Oh my God. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. So, my weekend was actually very nice. Spent the weekend over at my boyfriend's. I think I vlogged that part already. No, I haven't vlogged since Friday. So, yeah. I don't think. I've lost track. Anyway, spent the weekend over at my boyfriend's. Very leisurely weekend. It was great. Watched a lot of TV shows, movies. Good stuff, right? So, I get home Sunday. And the plan was that Monkey's dad was going to drop him off after dinner. Cool. And I had to pick Boo Boo up at 5 from work. No problem. So did all that. Monkey came home. We had a lovely evening, the three of us. Whatever. My brother had texted me to remind me that about the concert, right? My brother and Boo Boo went to Toronto on Monday for a concert. And he came here to pick him up about 11:30ish. Well, they left here I think he got here about 11 and they left around 11:30. And originally, my brother was going to get a hotel room for the three of them, right? It was my brother, Boo Boo, and one of Boo Boo's buddies. And he told me 2 weeks ago that he canceled this hotel room and then reminded me later last week. So I went up and I talked to Boo Boo about it, and Boo Boo had no idea that he had canceled this hotel room. Whatever. So that's fine. Monday comes and my brother picks them up and they go to Toronto for this concert. Cool. Come to find out that there was, I think it was like it was definitely 4, maybe 5 bands, right? There was some local TO band that opened everything. And then it was Joan Jett, Poison, Def Leppard, and Motley Crue. My brother, for some reason, was under the impression that all this was going to be done by 8 o'clock. That didn't sound right to me. I gotta learn to listen to myself. Boo Boo texted me, I don't know, we'll say around 7-ish, 6:37-ish. And Joan Jett had just started. So the concert pretty much just started. So it's like, yeah, you know, we missed the local opening act, but they were there, and I think they missed one song of Joan Jett's, but he was super excited. He loves Joan Jett. I taught him well. I was like, great, enjoy yourself, right? And I'm already thinking that things don't sound right, like time-wise. I think around 7:30, 8 o'clock, he texts me and told me whatever band was just starting, and he's like, yep, so much for being home for, so much for being done around 8. He says, we're not going to be back in town until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, for sakes, like, I didn't have to work Tuesday, thank God. But I did have Monkey here, and I did have to get up in the morning, and, adult. I said, all right, fine, whatever. Well, there was no way I was going to bed until Boo Boo got home. There was just no way. My brother, bless his soul, has a habit of driving when he ought not be driving. He pushes himself, and he ends up doing the nod while he's driving. It's horrible. I was up. I went outside for a cigarette because I wanted to be outside when they pulled into my driveway. I wanted my brother to see my head explode as they pulled into my driveway. They did not pull into my driveway until 4:45 in the morning. Livid does not describe how I was feeling at that moment. So, now I'd had a nice night, to be fair, right? I have been going down the rabbit hole of Mike Flanagan movies and shows ever since I watched The Haunting of Hill House. So I went on the Google and I made up a list, wrote down everything he's made. And I watched Oculus, which was good. And I watched Before I Wake, which was even better, in my opinion. But by then, it was like, I think that movie ended around 3:30-ish. And of course, nobody was still home yet. They were supposed to be home by 3. And Boo Boo texted me, well, I texted him because I looked at the time and I was like, starting to worry. And he texted me back right away. And I can't remember where he said they were. But he thought they had like an hour. He said, I think we're a little bit more, a little bit less than halfway home. I said, where are you? What's the last sign you saw? And I think it ended up being, they were roughly 45 minutes to half hour away. I was like, okay. He says, well, we're going to drop my buddy off first, and then, I'm going to get dropped off. I was like, okay. He's like, you can go ahead and go to bed, Mama. Like, it's fine. I was like, no, it's not fine. Mama's not going to bed until everybody's home. Like, So, I fiddle-mucked around a little bit, and I thought, now we're getting up to 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm so not happy. I thought, I'm going to go out and have a cigarette. I want that man to see my head explode when he pulls into my friggin' driveway. That's what I did. I went outside, had a cigarette. And as they pulled in, I put my cigarette out. I looked at the time. 4:45. My brother had the audacity, the nerve, the balls to actually turn his car off and get out of the car and approach me on the porch. Boo Boo's walking up real slow. I'm like, hey, Boo Boo, I hope you had a good night. Whatever, I gave him a hug. Glad you're home. Get in the house. Tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I turned around to my brother and I was like, are you crashing here? What are you doing? Because he actually turned the car off and got out. I think what he was going to do was come up and have a cigarette with me and thought we were going to shoot the shit. And then he looked over at me and he goes, oh, I was just coming up to apologize. And I don't care for sorry. I'm tired. I have to get up in the morning. I'm going to bed. And I kind of boo-boo into the house. I slammed the door and I turned the light off. I locked up the house. So mad. I was so mad that I couldn't even yell at him. I was just, You know when you're so mad you can't even speak? Like there's just no point. There are no words. There are no words. And I turned around. Poor baby was standing in the kitchen. He was looking at me. He's like, I'm sorry, Mom. It's like, buddy, it's got nothing to do with you. I am so not mad at you. It's fine. You are not the one driving. It's fine. Your uncle, on the other hand, I want dead. I said, I'm sorry, baby, but you know what? We're all going to go to bed. And you can tell me. He wanted to tell me about the concert. I was like, you can tell me all about it tomorrow. Right now, I'm so livid. I just need to go to bed. Just gave him a hug. And I went to bed. Well, I got to my room and I got into bed and I kind of, angrily tossed and turned for a while. I would have been better if I just chewed him out. I would have felt better. I should have just chewed my brother out then and there. But no. Tossed and turned. I have no idea what time I got to sleep. But I'd set my alarm for like, I don't know, 10 or something. Whatever I set my alarm to, it was to ensure that I got my 6 hours sleep, because I'm useless on anything less than 6 hours sleep. So my alarm got off in the morning, 20 after 10 or whatever the hell I'd set it for, and my head was pounding. Nope. Going back to bed. Turned my alarm off, turned my ringers off, and I went back to bed. I did not get up until like 2, quarter after 2, something like that. I was so pissed. Headache was gone. I still felt like crap. I was so mad. I was like, really, like, my whole day gone. Poor Monkey not only had to do breakfast by himself, but he had to do lunch by himself. Sit downstairs by himself. Like, I hate that. When I'm home and Monkey's home with me, I don't like to leave him alone. The kids are left alone a lot when I'm working and stuff. Like, come on. I wanted to get my lawns cut. That didn't happen. I still have to clean the pool. Now it's green. That didn't happen. I'm like, I was so mad. I was so mad on Tuesday. Oh my God, I was so mad. And then it's like, okay, I have to work Wednesday, but I've slept all day. Like, how in the hell am I going to get to bed so that I can get up for Wednesday? Like, it just threw my shit off. But anyway, Boo Boo came down Tuesday afternoon and told me about the concert. They had a great time. They got separated from my brother at one point. Boo Boo was not excited for Motley Crue at all. In fact, he texted my brother and said his buddy had gone out. His brother lives in Toronto, not far from the Rogers Centre. So he'd gone to go see his brother because he wasn't interested in whatever was going on. And when Motley Crue came on, Boo Boo wasn't interested because, the shirts go up, the titties come out. He says people were like literally getting it in right there on the floor. And I was like, yeah, right there in the pit. Yep. I'd have left too. Fuck. Come on. It's one thing for the titties to come out. It's another to be getting it in the pit. Like, come on. I was like, really? You're not exaggerating? He's no, seriously. Like, people were like getting it in right there. Concerts are not what they used to be, man. I've been to my share of concerts. I ain't never seen that. That's crazy. So Boo Boo had enough of that, and he texted my brother, and he's like, I'm peacing out. Like, I'll go wait outside. Like, yeah, nope. Nope. This is not what I paid to see. So he met up with his buddy outside. And my brother was like, cool, we'll meet here. They had a designated meeting place after the concert, right? Cool. So they're waiting for my brother, and they're waiting for my brother, and they're waiting. Nothing. So they go back to the Rogers Centre, and they're waiting at the let-out point. And they're waiting, and they're waiting. I think he said they waited something like 45 minutes, give or take, for my brother. And he finally kind of, sashayed his fat ass out. Like, neither of them were impressed. There was all kinds of fiddle mucking around for parking. I guess he parked at a mall, an underground parking at a mall, and the mall was closed. Because the mall closes at like 11. It's like, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Jesus Christ. This was not a thought out plan at all. They finally get the car and they get out, whatever. Like, they had to get a security guard to let them out of the parking. Like, oh my God. And Boo Boo said on the way home, there was a couple of times, like, his buddy passed out in the back seat. Boo Boo passed out in the front seat, and he woke up to my brother driving on, you know when you're driving on the highway, if you start to weave too far, you hit those bumpies and they make a noise. He woke up to that. He's like, okay, and we're not sleeping. Like, if I'm gonna die, I want to see it coming. Not impressed. Not impressed. So I said to him, you know, that's it. There's no more traveling like that with my brother. Like, God damn it. I was so mad. He says, well, we have Iron Maiden tickets. I said, you tell him, and I will tell him, you're getting a frickin' hotel room. Whoever's all going, everybody pitches in. You get a fucking hotel room. And if he tries that shit about canceling the hotel room again, he'll deal with me. The wrath of Jen, because god damn it. Do what you want when it's just you. You have my kid in the car. Really, 2 kids of mine in the car, because I still feel like I felt very responsible for Boo Boo's friend. Like, I mean, this is a kid I've known since he was like 6 years old. Like, I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So mad. So mad. Like, if I pulled something like that with my brother's kid in the car, he'd be losing his fucking mind. So I said, that's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. But you're getting a hotel for this next concert. Like, no fucks given. And if you don't, you're not going. End of story. You'll eat the friggin' money for the ticket. I don't care. Why he thought a concert with 4, at least 4, well, 5 bands, I guess, if you count the opening act. Like, why you think that would be done at 8? Like, I've went to one concert that was probably done around 9. And it was a festival. It wasn't a concert. Like, especially in Toronto. Like, come on, man. It's not like going to a concert, like, in a small town like here. Because there are noise restrictions. Everything has to be done by, like, 11. In Toronto, nobody gives a fuck. If you're downtown at the Rogers Center, at the C&E Grandstand, whatever, like, I mean, nobody gives a fuck. So I've been kind of thrown for a bit of a loop the last couple of days. Even to where, like, I got up this morning and I got ready for work and I'm sitting outside and I'm waiting for my ride, whatever, you know, doing my usual routine. And I'm looking around thinking, well, why are the garbage bins out? I'm still thinking it's Tuesday. Thinking, like, garbage bins go out tonight, they can take them tomorrow. Whatever. Never thought anything of it. My coworker picked me up, so I get in the car and we're on our way to pick up the new hire. And I'm telling her this, and she's like, Jennifer, it's Wednesday. Call the house, like, yo, boo-boo, he's sleeping. What? Take out the garbage real quick. I don't think it's even been picked up yet. It's like, I am so screwed up, I don't know if I'm coming or going. I totally forgot about the garbage. Go take it out real quick. Because they're usually here early in the morning. Last week they were late. This week they're really late. But if I hadn't done that, it would have been picked up at its usual time, and I would have been SOL. My garbages would have been full. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then my coworker is telling me she's big on the Facebook Marketplace thing. She cruises that all the time. She found a post. I'm not sure if I should. Yeah, we're going to tell her. She found a post by a dude who was scammed out of over $1,000 because the new hire had put an ad out for renting a spot where she lives for whatever it was. It was just over $1,000 a month. So Buddy came, gave her the money, and came to move his stuff in, and she was like, yeah, no. Nope. And kept his fucking money. So he put a thing up with her picture and everything. Alerting of the scammer, right? She replied to the post. Badmouth me all you want, blah, 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 blah. Now you're not getting your money back, and blah, 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 blah. Running her mouth. Hardcore. Unbelievable. A coworker who frequently, cruises these pages all the time, comes across this and screenshots it. Screenshotted her response and his original post and shows it to my boss. Because we've been locking the van so that she can't come out and have a cigarette. Like, she will leave in the middle of a job and go out and have a cigarette. So we started locking the van. And then it dawned on me that I recognized her from somewhere, but I couldn't pinpoint where. And she mentioned to my coworker that she used to live like 3 houses down from me, and that I'd given her some Midol or something one day. And I was like, that's where I know her from. I was like, yeah, she lived in the crack house that's like 3 doors down from me. And yeah, I gave her Midol one day to get her the frig off my doorstep. She used to come around here all the time looking for cigarettes and change, whatever. And I just wanted to go away. So I threw a box of Midol at her and went, go, leave. Lighters. She used to be looking for lighters all the time too, and she was all dirty and sketchy and weird, and it was like, no, I'm not anything that I have to touch back from you. No. So I would never give her light. I would never give her cigarettes. But she was moaning and carrying on about, I don't know, needing Midol or whatever. So I went up and I threw a box of Midol at her to get the fuck out of here. So I said to my coworker, yeah, that's where I know her from. She lived at the crack house, 3 houses down from me. And she'd said the week before that she knew me from the street, and that she lived at that house. It just didn't dawn on me who she was. And I was like, oh, anybody who tells me that they've lived at that house, I look at sideways, because the house has been filled up nothing but junkies and drunks for the 15, 16 years that I've lived on this street. End of story. And I guess I had a look on my face when she told me that. I was like, yeah, that's the dope house and she's like, oh, but it wasn't like that when I lived there. I'm like, bitch. I've lived on this street for a good long while, and it's always been a junkie house. Always. Give me that. Liar. I think she said it was like 6 years ago or something. I was like, yeah. I didn't tell her that. I just kind of went, And the next time, it was just when it was me and my coworker in the car. I leaned over and said, "Dude, that's it. I'm done talking. I got nothing to say unless it's work related. When she's in the car, that's it." And I told her about the house. So my coworker's been kind of watching her ever since. And like I said, we lock up the car and whatever. And then when my coworker came across this post on this marketplace, she took the screenshots and showed them to my boss. And she said, you know, like, that car's locked. I mean, we have our purses and stuff in there, like, and my coworker's like, "I'm not carrying any cash anymore." I'm like, none of that. I never do. But I was like, man, like today, like our paychecks were in there. I was like, nope. So my boss is going on holidays next week, and it's just going to be the three of us. I don't know, like 3 days or something. I was like, well, when she gets back, well, I think we're working with my boss tomorrow. I think my boss is meeting us at a couple of places tomorrow. I was like, really watch her, because it's like, I said to my coworker at one point today, you know, she's gonna have to start doing fucking criminal background checks before she hires people. Like, goddamn, we've had the worst luck for months with hiring people. Like, it's absolutely insane. The drama of it all. I don't know, man. Anyways. Like, I just want to work and live my life and be left alone. Like, come on. I don't need all this crap. Anywho. It's been an interesting couple of days. But I'm going to boot. I really want to get my lawn cut. It looks so bad. And I'll have to run out later and buy some bleach for my pool now. But I will handle that, I think, tomorrow. Get the lawns done today. And I got to water my neighbor's flowers. Worry about the pool tomorrow. It's already green. Whatever. I'll get it cleaned up for next weekend. Get a clean filter in it. All that good stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to boot and go do all that. So anybody watching, thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed my angst today. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk later.